Hey guys, making money with Gary. Today is September 7th, 2024, and I'm showing you how to wash the pine needles. Here's a little vinegar. Here's the vinegar. I'll use this vinegar. I'll put this in there. What we do is we put the cleaning vinegar in a different bottle and we just marked it. So this is for cleaning, it's not for cooking. It's vinegar. It's white vinegar. So you put like a little shot glass in there. Here's a soap. I use this soap. I just put a little squirt in there. See? Little squirt. That's it. And then what I do is I'll run the hot water and I'll just soap it up, And there's already soap in there. I'm just showing you how it's done. Now this water is boiling hot. It's very hot water. Now I crisscross the 1-ounce rolls. The reason I crisscross them is when I have them untied, I don't want to. I weigh out 1 ounce. I put it in this way, and then I weigh out another ounce, and then I put it in this way. And that way, when they're untied, they won't get mixed up, and you'll pull out 1 ounce. You'll pull out 1 ounce because they won't be mixed. So that's what I'm just crisscrossing you to show you that if you want to wash them untied. Now these have been soaking for a long time in the water. Now here's how I agitate them. I go like this, and I soak them for like 4 minutes in hot water with the vinegar and a shot glass of vinegar and a little bit of soap. And I've already had soap and vinegar in there. I was just showing you how to add it. So this is what I do. I just go like that, agitate it. I leave them in there like 4 minutes. And then after 4 minutes, I'll take them all out. Now guys, I have 8 1-ounce rolls here. So that is 8 ounces. Now these big rolls here are 8 ounces each. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 8-ounce rolls. That's 3.5 pounds. And then 8 ounces here. That's 4 pounds right here. Now, I had another 2 pounds that I had brought outside. Actually, it was 2.5 pounds. It was 5 of these rolls. And I brought them out, and they're outside right now drying. I soaked them before these because I just thought, let me make a video and show the people how to wash them because they're always asking me different questions. And this is my second video on washing longleaf pine needles. I do have another video up. But I'm just showing you this way here, I'm washing them tied. You can wash them tied. These are fresh needles. And what I mean by fresh, these just fell out of the trees. They just fell out like today or yesterday. They are as fresh as they get. See how light brown? They're all light brown. These are fresh needles. They don't get any fresher than that. They just fell out of the trees, and I just picked them up. They were on the top. They were on the top layer. And what I'll do sometimes when I go pick, I'll go out and I won't pick in the same area. When I say in the same area, I won't pick in the same 10 by 10 spot. I'll move around. I'll pick all the stuff that's on the very top. And then I'll move 5 feet over here and pick stuff that's up on the very top. Then I'll move 5 feet further and pick stuff that's up on the very top of the ground. And then I'll go to another side of the tree where they would fall off a branch onto the ground, and I'll pick there. And I always look for the long needles, because sometimes certain branches of the tree, the needles ain't long. So I won't pick in that spot. If I see needles that are like 8, 9, 10 inches, I won't pick in that spot. I'll go in the area where the long ones are, and I'll try to pick the long ones. And that's how I do it. And all these needles here I picked today, plus the ones I got outside. I picked them all today. And this is 4 pounds inside, and I got another 2.5 pounds outside. And some of them I picked today, and some of them I picked out in the front yard. So I'm going to show you. This is washing them, agitating them. See how there's some needles that are very long, very, very long. Okay. So now look, guys, I'm going to take these out and put them in a secondary sink. And what I do is I pick them up, see the dripping. It's got a little soapy stuff. Don't worry about that. Really don't worry about that. You just go down. Here you go. It's dripping. Put it in the secondary sink. Dripping. Put it in the secondary sink. Keep doing it. Repeat. Secondary sink. Okay, that's it. Now these, since these are fresh needles, I could wash these with the yarn on them because they're fresh. Now if they weren't fresh needles, you know, I'd have to really wash them loose. But these are fresh. These were all, these, you see all the little stuff coming in the water, the little stuff that came off of them. There's one that's really long here. It's real long. It's probably about 25 inches long. It's really long. Now you see how it's done. Now I'll leave these soak in the sink. I'll leave these dry in this one sink for about 20 minutes. Then I'll bring them outside and I'll dry them outside. But let me show you. You didn't see me washing these larger ones, so I'm gonna just throw 2 of them in the sink real quick just to show you. I push them up, let them float. Push them down, they pop back up. Push them down again, they pop back up. And I do this, and I'll leave them. I'll just leave them in there. Sometimes I'll put a plate on them or something, and the plate will hold them down. The plate will hold them down on the water. And I'll come back in 4 minutes and take them out. Now these have already been washed. So I don't need to do the 4 minutes. I'm just showing you how these are done when they're tied, the big 8-ounce rolls. So now look, I take these up, I let them drip. See them dripping? Yeah. See how fresh they are? How light brown? They're all fresh, clean. I put them in that secondary sink. Same thing. Up, down, up, down. Pick it up. Oh, water coming out of that. I put them in the secondary sink. Now, you guys are probably thinking, because I do have people asking me this, now that's 4 pounds right there in that sink, and that sink is pretty loaded. That's 4 pounds right there. That's around $100 worth right there, 4 pounds. Because I give extra with the orders. So I'm gonna say 25 cents a pound. That's $100 there, and I got another 56. I got another $60 that I brought out that I washed before these. Now you can see the water turned a little bit dirty, but not much. Well, when I did all the large needles, the water turned like black, and then I changed it. And this is the second water. So you do have to change, with washing 4, 5, 6 pounds, you're going to have to change it once or twice. When the water gets like really black, you change it, and then you do it again. And you'll learn as you do it yourself. But now to dry these, I'll leave these in the sink for 20 minutes. Now remember, all these needles are 15 inches and some are 20 inches long. Now I'll leave these in the sink for 20 minutes to dry. Then after that, I'll bring them outside. And I'll either put them in my shed if it's going to rain, and I'll put them in like a milk crate. Or if it's not going to rain, I'll put them on milk crates out in the yard. Now when the sun comes up in the morning, I'll put them on the roof. I got a ladder. I could go up out on my back porch here and just step up the step ladder 3 feet up. And I could reach up and put these up on the roof. So, and then when I put these on the roof gets 120, even on a cool 60-degree day, that roof will be 120 degrees. And sometimes 130 degrees because the roof has brown shingles. And them brown shingles get very hot, and the roof gets very hot. I went up there barefoot once or twice, and I forgot, and I got off the ladder, and my feet were on fire. I had to get off the roof really quick. My feet were on fire. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I had like, at that time, I was putting like 30 pounds of longleaf pine needles up on the roof to dry them. I mean, I had a large, abundant amount. But now this here, it's only 4 pounds, and I got another 2.5 pounds out there. I got 6.5 pounds I need to dry by tomorrow. I need to have them dry. Tomorrow's Sunday. So if I put them all on the roof in the morning and leaving the sun up, the sun down, tomorrow night they'll all be dry. And yes, these bundles, I know they're wet right now, but you put them up on a roof that's 120 degrees, they're going to, believe me, they're going to dry out. They are going to dry. And after 8 hours up there, I'll go up there and they'll be all crispy and fluffed up, and they'll fluff up when they dry. They'll like puff up. You know, right now they're wet. So it's, you know, but by tomorrow around 5 o'clock, all these needles will be dry. Now here's the yarn I use. I want to show you the yarn. Here's the yarn. And I use yarn. I don't use string. String gets too tight and it can break the needles. So yarn is good. And I go around a couple wraps with the yarn. At least I try to do like 2 wraps. And then I don't leave them real tight. I leave them kind of loose, but they're tight. Now, so guys, this is how you wash them. You see, you put like a shot glass of vinegar, hot water, and a little squirt of dish soap. Any kind of dish soap. And you agitate them in the water. You push up and down, up and down. That agitates them. And that gets them, that kills all the fungus. These get fungus on them. I mean, they'll get mold on them. They'll have sap on them. Sometimes they'll get the sap, and it's like syrup. Well, I try to stay away from them if I see them out there, but once in a while I'll get a couple in my bundle. And if it's only a few, I'll throw them away. But if it's a lot, I'll soak them. I'll soak them in the water, and the sap will come off them. But I try to stay away from the ones with the sap on them. But once in a while, you have to deal with that. And if you soak them in the water, the sap will come off. The mold will come off. The bugs will die from the vinegar. The bugs will die from soap. Any little insects on them. You don't want to be bringing insects in your house. So you want to bundle them quickly. And you know, when they're in the house, you want to get them bundled and washed. And this is how it's done. And I've been doing this like this for 4 years. And it's been working great for me. And I've washed thousands of pounds of longleaf pine needles in the sink. And not only in the sink. I had a big, huge thing outside, and I was dipping them outside in vinegar water with soap. Like 5 gallons of water, and pulling them out and washing them outside in a big tub. And so not only have I washed them in my sink, I have washed them outside too. And you could see these are fresh. These are nice, fresh, light brown needles. They're fresh. You know, and you'll see a little discoloration on them some at times. You know, you can't help that. That's how the needles come. And I mean, people dye these a lot. What they'll do is they'll put a dye on them. They'll dye them black, brown, blue, green, yellow, and they'll do all kinds of stuff. The people that make stuff with them, the crafters. So a lot of times they dye them. But these are fresh needles, and you don't get them any fresher than that. They just fell out of the trees within the last day or so. All right, guys. So this is my second video on washing longleaf pine needles. And this is washing them while they're tied, they're bundled. And the reason I've done that is because they're fresh needles. And when you get fresh needles that just fall to the ground, you could bundle them and then soak them because they're fresh. If the needles that have been laying on the ground for a couple days, a week, you don't want to do that. You want to soak them and then bundle them. But when they're fresh needles, you could just bundle them and then soak them. Because you have to have them weighed out. And these are weighed out to 1 ounce. Of course, I make a little over an ounce to make sure I'm safe. And then I tie them. These here are 8 ounces. I make them a little over and then I tie them. And then now I soak them. And after I soak them, I let them dry. And that's it. Okay, guys. Making money with Gary. Over and out.